The fuck is that?
They'll just ask you, well, what time is it? And a lot of people will give you this answer. You ever hear this answer? Well, it's 1/2 a monkey's ass and 1/4 till its balls. Where the people get this fucking shit? 1/2 a monkey's ass and 1/4 till its balls? What kind of measurement of time unit is this? What is exactly 1/2 a monkey's ass anyway? Well, I don't know. I've never been able to figure that one out. No one's explained that one to me before. No one's explained a lot of these things to me before. A lot of these euphemisms, a lot of these things that people say. A lot of people say, well, you know what they say. Well, first of all, who is they? I'd like to know who they are, because I'd like to walk up to them and tell them to suck my cock. But really, who are these people? You never see them on the streets. You never pass up they. You walk up to some guy and say, do you know what they say? You never see that in the newspaper. What do they say? What are they saying? They say a lot of things. And it could be anything. Anything. That's what they say. This is what they say. You know what they say. Well, I'd like to know who they are and what the fuck they're saying. Because there's some people out there that say this stuff. And they don't just say it once, they say it on an everyday basis. They say it 2 or 3 times a day sometimes. You know what they say. And here's some observational stuff. You ever been sitting on the toilet and you look at a tile floor and you're sitting there and you're staring at the tile floor in the public restrooms? First of all, let me just say, I hate public restrooms. When you go in there, first of all, it's never clean. It's never clean in a public restroom, no matter where you are. It's never clean. So you go in there, and you have to think about it for a minute. Well, sometimes you can't think about it for a minute. Sometimes you have to go so bad that you're willing to shit standing up. That's how bad these places really are. Most of the time I wait to get home, but half the time, hey, you can't help it. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You know? There's another saying that we need to be rid of in this country. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Makes a lot of sense, but it's really, when you think about it, it's really fucking stupid. Anyway, you're in the public restroom, you're looking at tile floor, and then all of a sudden the tile floor comes up to you like this. Right in your face. Hey, you ever notice that your farts smell good and other people's farts smell bad? It's the same thing with the shit. Remember when I mentioned the shit earlier? Anyway, the tile floor, getting back to the tile floor, it's the same thing with the chain link fence. Have you ever stared at a chain link fence long enough and then it just comes at you like 3D, like... It's the same thing when you're laying down and you're laying on your pillow like this. You close one eye and the pillow goes up here. You close the other eye, and then all of a sudden the pillow seems to be down here. I think it's related to the chain link fence mystery. Well, you know, it's one of life's little mysteries. There's a lot of life's little mysteries. There's a lot of little mysteries in life. Life is a mystery itself. The big question we all ask, why are we here? Why am I here? There's another big question in the universe. Well, I don't have the answer to all these things. What I do want to know is, why is it when I leave my car and I go into my house and I put my keys down on the table, why do they always seem to end up somewhere else? Why is that? I know that I just put them there, and now they're gone. They're gone. It's one of life's little mysteries. You ever left the house wearing 2 different kinds of socks? That's another little mystery in life. Where did the other sock go? Well, it's got to be in the dryer someplace. It didn't just get out of the dryer and go, you know what? I'm getting tired of being on his foot. Fuck this. I'm moving to Idaho. I'm moving to Idaho. Everybody moves to Idaho. And what's Idaho saying? Famous potatoes. Famous potatoes are in Idaho. How do you know that? It says that on a big billboard. Welcome to Idaho, home of the famous potatoes. You don't see any other vegetables or fruit that have that added to them, except for the apple. What do they call New York? The Big Apple. There's another name with a fruit attached to it. You don't see any other states with fruits or vegetables attached to them. Welcome to Wyoming, home of the green beans. It's always animal names. It's never fruit names. It's always animal names. The tigers, the Bengals, the dogs, the bears. It's always animal names. Why can't we have fruit and vegetable names? Why not? And while we're at it, why don't we have seafood names for teams? You'd be watching a football game, and then all of a sudden you'd hear the announcer say, well, the crabs are all over the shrimp today, Bob. Yes, indeed they are. Well, those crabs are one tough competitor, I tell you. Those crabs are all over the place. You never hear that on the sports newscast, would you? And I wouldn't just stop there either. I would name other things after sports. Sexual things, like sperm. Look at those sperm. Boy, they sure are swimming tonight. Yes, they are indeed, Dave. Sports announcer names are always either Dave or Steve or John. John's a name. There's a good name. You never hear Jeremy. You never hear Jeremy as a sports announcer. That wouldn't be feasible. That wouldn't be a reasonable sports name. It's always Bob or Dave. Look at this today, Dave. Well, I'll tell you, Bob. It's always Bob. You know what's cool about the word Bob? It's the same, spelled backwards and forward. Bob. Mom. Wow. Wow. Wow is mom spelled upside down. You walk in the room. Wow, Mom. You know? I like words that are spelled the same forwards and backwards. I like them. That way, if you get a tattoo, you never have to change it. You never have to change it. Let's say you get a tattoo of Mom. You got Mom on your arm, right? Well then, when you're sleeping, you turn it over and they'd say, wow, wow. I think women need to have tattoos on their back, on their lower back. They need to have a tattoo with their name on it, not with your name on it, with their name on it, so we never forget their name. And it's like, oh yeah, Susan. That way a guy would never get in trouble, would he? He would never get in trouble.